Welcome back to AI Explained. Today we're diving into AI development and some of the legal battles that are brewing around it. Specifically, we're going to be looking at Meta's AI model, Llama, and allegations that it was trained on a data set of, well, shall we say, borrowed books. This case, known as Cadre v. Meta, is pulling back the curtain on cutting-edge AI development and raises some big questions about copyright and fair use in the digital age.
Yeah, and one of the things that's really capturing the imagination here is the sheer scale of AI training. To get these models to generate text and translate languages and answer your questions in a comprehensive way, they need to learn from a massive amount of data. You can almost think of it like building a house. You need a huge pile of bricks. And for AI, those bricks are words, sentences, paragraph, all the nuances of human language.
Okay, so we've got Meta, this powerful AI called Llama, and a mountain of data. Where do the pirated books come in?
Well, the lawsuit alleges that Meta used a website called LibGen to train Llama. Now, LibGen is essentially a vast online library where you can download pretty much any book you can imagine for free. Think of it as a kind of digital and somewhat controversial Library of Alexandria. Many publishers and authors view this as a direct violation of copyright, and LibGen has faced numerous lawsuits and takedown attempts over the years.
So, according to the authors who filed the lawsuit, Meta knew they were dipping their toes into murky legal waters.
That's what the court filings seem to suggest. One of the most shocking claims is that Mark Zuckerberg himself allegedly greenlit the use of LibGen despite internal concerns from Meta employees. In fact, some employees even referred to it as a data set we know to be pirated and expressed worry about the potential legal ramifications. Yet the lawsuit claims the AI development team proceeded with using this data anyway.
That's a pretty bold move. It almost sounds like they were playing a high-stakes game of ask for forgiveness, not permission.
It does raise questions about their internal decision-making process. And it gets even more intriguing. The lawsuit alleges that Meta engineers went a step further and wrote scripts to remove copyright information from the LibGen ebooks before using them for training.
Wait, they deliberately scrubbed the books of any ownership information? Why would they do that?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. One could speculate that it might have been an attempt to obscure the origin of the data. Perhaps they thought it would make it harder to trace the content back to its original source. But this action, along with the alleged torrenting of LibGen to access this massive amount of data, really puts their methods under scrutiny.
Torrenting, now that's a term that might need a bit of explaining.
You're absolutely right. Torrenting is basically a way to share files directly between computers without needing a central server. While it's not illegal in itself, it's often used to distribute copyrighted material without permission. And Meta admitting to using this method to obtain data from LibGen definitely adds another layer of complexity to this whole situation.
It sounds like they're caught in a bit of a contradiction. On one hand, they're claiming they operated under the principle of fair use, but on the other hand, they're allegedly going to great lengths to conceal the origin of their data.
Exactly. And this is where the legal battle gets really interesting. Meta's defense seems to hinge on this concept of fair use, which allows limited use of copyrighted material without needing permission from the copyright holder. It's typically used for things like commentary criticism or educational purposes.
But can training an AI model really be considered a transformative use like writing a book review?
That's the million-dollar question. The law isn't exactly crystal clear when it comes to AI and fair use. It's a gray area, and this case has the potential to set a major precedent for the entire AI industry.
So what are the potential outcomes here? What's at stake for Meta and for the authors involved?
The stakes are incredibly high. If the court decides against Meta, they could face hefty fines and be forced to make significant changes to how they train their AI models. This could have ripple effects throughout the entire tech industry, potentially impacting how other companies develop their own AI systems. On the flip side, for the authors, this case could be a watershed moment. It could give them more control over how their work is used in the AI realm and potentially open up new revenue streams if AI developers need to license their work for training.
It sounds like this case could have far-reaching consequences, not only for AI development, but also for copyright law in the digital age.
Yeah, it really is a landmark case. Think about it. This isn't just about Meta and a few authors. This could establish a precedent for how all AI is trained in the future.
That's a huge responsibility for the judge in this case. It's almost like they're writing a new chapter in copyright law.
Exactly. And the implications go beyond just the legal aspects. This case touches on some fundamental questions about the nature of creativity and ownership in the digital age. If an AI can create something that's indistinguishable from human-generated content, but it's trained on data that was obtained without permission, who owns the rights to that creation?
That's mind-boggling. It's like a philosophical riddle wrapped in a legal battle. It makes you wonder, is there a way to balance the need for massive data sets to train these powerful AIs with the rights of the creators whose work is being used?
That's the million-dollar question. And there are no easy answers. Some experts believe that stricter copyright regulations might be necessary to ensure that creators are fairly compensated and that their work isn't exploited. Others argue that overly restrictive laws could stifle innovation and hinder the development of AI technologies that have the potential to benefit society in countless ways.
It's a classic dilemma, progress versus protection. And it's fascinating to see how this case is forcing us to confront these fundamental questions. It's like holding a mirror up to our society and asking, what do we value more, rapid technological advancement or safeguarding the rights of creators?
I think it's important to remember that these aren't mutually exclusive concepts. We can strive for technological progress while also ensuring that creators are fairly compensated and that their rights are protected. Perhaps this case will lead to the development of new models for data licensing, where creators can choose to contribute their work to AI training datasets in exchange for compensation or recognition.
That's an interesting idea. It would
Mm.
be like a new form of digital marketplace where the creators and AI developers can collaborate in a mutually beneficial way.
Exactly. It's a win-win scenario. Creators get compensated for their contributions, and AI developers gain access to high-quality data that can be used to train even more powerful and sophisticated models.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities. But let's bring it back to the present moment. What's the current status of the case, and what can we expect to see unfold in the coming months?
Well, both sides are currently presenting their arguments, and we're likely to see more expert testimony and legal maneuvering in the coming weeks. This is a complex case with many nuances, so it's unlikely that we'll see a quick resolution.
So we'll need to buckle up for a long ride. But even if the legal process takes time, this case has already sparked a crucial conversation about the ethics and legalities of AI development. It's forcing us to examine our assumptions about creativity ownership and the role of technology in our society.
Absolutely. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a societal debate. And the outcome of this case could have far-reaching consequences that extend far beyond the courtroom.
It's a powerful reminder that technology doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's shaped by our values, our laws, and our collective choices. And as AI becomes increasingly integrated into our lives, it's more important than ever to have these difficult conversations and to think critically about the future we're creating.
I couldn't agree more. This is a pivotal moment for AI. And the decisions we make today will have a profound impact on the course of technological development for generations to come.
You know, it's fascinating to think about how this one lawsuit, focusing on a specific AI model and a controversial data source, has opened up such a wide-ranging discussion about the future of AI as a whole. It's a testament to the transformative power of technology and its ability to challenge our assumptions about the world.
Absolutely. And it underscores the importance of staying informed and engaged. As AI continues to evolve at a rapid pace, we all have a role to play in shaping its development and ensuring that it's used for good.
Well said. We need to be informed citizens, engaged participants in this technological revolution,
Hmm.
because the future of AI is ultimately in our hands. It feels like this case is just the tip of the iceberg, right? As AI gets more powerful, we're bound to see more of these complex legal and ethical questions pop up.
Absolutely. This case has really highlighted a crucial gap in our legal framework. Our copyright laws were written long before AI was even a glimmer in a computer scientist's eye. They simply weren't designed to address the unique challenges posed by this technology.
So what can we do about it? Do we need like a whole new set of laws just for AI?
Well, that's a possibility. Some legal experts are already calling for a reassessment of copyright law in the age of AI. But I think even beyond new laws, it's important to foster a broader conversation about the ethical implications of AI. We need to develop guidelines and principles that ensure AI is developed and used responsibly in a way that benefits all of society, not just a select few.
It sounds like we need a new kind of literacy, a way for everyone to understand not just how AI works, but also the ethical considerations that come with it.
I completely agree. We need to demystify AI. We need to educate people about its potential benefits and its risks. And we need to create spaces for open dialogue where people can voice their concerns, share their ideas, and help shape the future of this technology.
It's a tall order, but it feels essential. We can't just leave these decisions to the tech companies or policymakers. We all have a stake in the future of AI.
Exactly. And there's so much we can learn from past technological revolutions. Think about the printing press, the internet, even the wheel. Each of these inventions brought about profound changes, both positive and negative. And it was through open dialogue, thoughtful deliberation, and a willingness to adapt that society was able to harness their power for good.
It's a reminder that technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to decide how we want to use AI.
And that's a powerful message. We have agency in this. We can choose to use AI to solve our most pressing problems, to enhance our creativity, to build a better future for ourselves and generations to come.
This whole conversation's been incredibly insightful. It's given me a lot to think about, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same way.
It's been a pleasure discussing this with you.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to AI Explained. We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to think critically about the evolving world of AI. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions about the technology shaping our world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.